are doing your thing and you are helping change lives in the Black community. And that's why I wanted to jump right in, giving you that background, because the people who know you, but really how you change lives when you come in and you help them with their business, you empower their minds. Somebody said, yes, a maven. I know that's right. Coming up with words for you. Um, when you step into somebody's life and you help empower them, especially the women who follow you, you empower them to believe in their business and their dreams. They may be single mothers. They may be women who never believed in their business before. They may be women who are separated from their husbands and now living on their own economy. And you are literally stepping into their lives and helping to raise their faith and really believe in the power of their dreams. Now, as a woman who does that, especially in a time like this, a time of such uncertainty where there's so much division and there's so much pain in our Black community, how are you helping women, especially, because I just got off with our brother talking about Black men, but helping Black women during this time of great uncertainty and unrest?
For me, to be honest, I'm not really doing anything differently outside of what I've been doing. You know, I may post some extra posts here or there just to help people stay motivated, raise up their vibrations, not get sucked into, you know, a vast depression or a lot of really negative things that you see in the media, whether it's on social media or the world news, you know, or CNN or Fox News, because I think a lot of times we forget how much life is in the power of our tongue. And so we speak things into existence. So, you know, trying to remind people to be mindful of those things. And then I'm always on my number one mission of helping as many people, especially people, Black people, get this money, get to the bag, start businesses and stay in business, create sustainable and profitable businesses. One of the biggest issues that we have right now, which is why for so long this system of racism and oppression has been able to continue to manifest, is because of the big gap, the chasm of economic, right?
Yes.
It is what it is. When you look at the median household income of the Black family, the white family is about 20 times more than ours. Unfortunately, we're in a time right now where, you know, the divorce rate is high, and there are way more single mothers right now than ever before. And that's not something that's just unique to Black people. I want to make sure I put that out there. That's rising across the board. I think that's just an American thing right now. So I don't want to try and paint that like that's just our struggle. That's many women's struggle right now.
It is a struggle in general.
I just want to clarify. However, though, if you have Black women in the household, right, and they're raising the children, you know, we got to make sure that we're in the position where we really can boss up and not just say I'm a boss, but really be a boss in your bank account, be a boss with your savings, be a boss with your investings, be wise with your money and your financial decisions, building a legacy, boss up like that, you know, to change the generational cycles and the trajectories of your family. So my big thing is building businesses and creating sustainable businesses. And because we live in the age of social media, it's so much easier to do it now than it's ever been before. Yes. And so a lot of people can do it if you give them the map. It's like baking a cake. Even if you've never baked a cake before, you can probably do a pretty okay job at baking that cake if somebody gives you a recipe and a checklist, right? Or a grocery list. Right. So I'm providing the checklist and then providing the strategies, because I need to see more people like us being empowered financially. And the truth of the matter, that big economic disparity has come because we have been put into a system where they did not want us to win. So it's really hard for Black people, and especially Black women, to be able to get ahead. And if you can't ever get your personal credit together or your business credit together, if we don't have any ownership inside of a business, if there's not enough of us to get together from a group economic standpoint, right? And you get a loan and I get a loan and somebody else's get a loan, and we put it together and buy a gas station or buy a farm or grocery supply chain. Yes. So those sorts of types of things, you know, when you look at it as a whole, when you get into those types of, it goes deeper than a supply chain. You know, those are like base level things that are running the country. When you look at those types of businesses, you don't see Black people owning those things. But it's difficult to own that whenever we can't even get a regular business off the ground, which we can now. But before it was very difficult. Banks they didn't want to lend to us. You know what I mean? Even if it was a good idea, if they did lend to us, then we were getting an average of $25,000 compared to somewhere between $150,000 and $250,000 that our white counterparts in America were getting. Being able to get your home, and then let's say you are in the position, now you can get the loan, now you can get your business up and running, now you can get inventory, now you can hire an employee. Well, because you're a first generation business owner and you may not be inside of a mastermind or a mentorship group, who do you have to help you navigate the waters and not take the missteps or make the pitfalls? Because someone else that is, 4, 5, 6 generations, of business owners in their family, they have a lot of resources that they can fall back on that can assist them. So it's a whole big thing, but we just tackle it one person at a time.
You have to. You really have to. And you made a great point about the fact that there are a lot of divorces right now, and there are a lot of single women. There are a lot of people right now who are doing certain things to start enhancing themselves. But when it comes to their personal lives, they may be struggling because they are focused right now in their business. What would you say to the young lady if she came to you, Ms. King Ashley Ann, and said, you got me the help I need with my business, but what about my bedroom?
The first thing I'd say, my dear, is you have got to learn balance. And that's something that I've had to learn, and I'm always recalibrating. I'm not going to sit here in front and just pretend like I am the master of time management. Sometimes my work definitely takes over and I have to pull back and be like, girl, like, you need to call, you need to text, you need to go out, like bring it back. You've been working for 3 days, right? So the time blocking has helped me a lot in making myself be disciplined. Like if my work day is supposed to end at 7:00, and if you got a boo thing, you know what I'm saying, or you got a spouse, you got a babe, whatever's clever, if you out there looking, or you know what I'm saying, you may be doing dating or something, you may be trying to bar hop, but like you have to be disciplined enough to say 7:00 or 8:00, whatever the work time is, okay, the work has ended and I'm going to take 2 hours or 3 hours to go and spend with my boo or my bae or pursuing one. And then you have to be disciplined enough for it to be uninterrupted time, which that was something I really had to work on. So if it's, those 2 hour or 3 hour time like I got with the bae, I don't get on social media. I don't take client calls. I do not send text messages. Like I want to make the most out of that time. So that way, your lover feels important. So they're not just like, you're totally dismissing me, or like your work is more important than me. So that was definitely a struggle I had. So that would be the advice that I would give to her. I would say, create some time blocks in your system. And even if you need to put it on your calendar, the way you put a conference call on the calendar with a client, you may need to put it. Now, don't go tell your boo that you're putting it in the calendar, but you may need to put it in the calendar for yourself. Hey, I need to call bae at 3:00 today, and give a 15 or 20-minute window just to check in and tell them how much I love them. You may need to put a reminder on your phone, text bae. You know what I'm saying? Just so, because I know it's really, for me, it's really easy for me to get carried away in my work. I love what I do. And I start working on projects, and before I know it, 12 hours has gone by and I can be working. Like I really can be a workhorse sometimes. So I had to that's what I had to do to break it up. Now, again, don't tell your boo that, because then they're going to feel some type of way. They'll be like, well, God dang, you got to schedule me? You know what I'm saying? Don't tell them that. That's going to cause a whole bunch of other problems. But just do it for yourself, to remind yourself 2 or 3 times a day. Send a text message. You know what I mean? Take a 15-minute break in the middle of the day and call them up. And when it's the time for the bae, make it the time for the bae. Do not...
You better be on Baywatch.
Yes, this is what I learned you do. Oh my gosh, y'all hear that? My yard man is like blowing. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna just speak louder. I don't know if y'all can hear
We can hear you. We can hear you fine.
Okay, so it was what I was doing in the past when I wasn't making time. I was basically putting my boo in the position to be competing with my career. So then
Mm,
all of a sudden he would start to resent my career, right?
mhm.
Because you're not, I was never giving him like just uninterrupted attention because it
Yes.
was always with a work thing, right? So instead of me being smart enough, which I then learned, like sometimes even if it's something I already know what I'm gonna do, I may ask for an opinion. I may ask for a thought. Can you help me with this? So now he was starting to feel included and not like he had to compete with it. And then just carving out uninterrupted time, and look,
Mhm.
I don't know, but men, I fool what they like it. If I'm like, nah, boo, like I ain't worried about that. You the most important. I ain't worried about this phone. I ain't worried about them clients. I'm trying to focus on you. They be like me. I be like, yeah, you boo. You know what I'm saying? What's up? So that was a big mistake that I was making. So I would tell any of you guys who are aspiring business owners, or if you're already in business, like do not make your significant other compete with your business, because then they're always going to be trying to like sabotage it or pull you away from it, or not quite letting you, do what you want to do, because they like, well, god dang, I can't win, I can't beat
Right.
her phone, I can't, you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Yes. Well, you give such amazing advice. What would you I feel like I should give you something. So what would you like to ask me in relation to anything about love and relationships that I can help you with, or any of your problems?
Okay. Yes. Okay. All right. Let me make sure it's good. Make sure, because I got to answer myself and on behalf of the other ladies. Okay.
Well, I'm
So,
sure it'll help them if it helps you.
all right. So when you are dating and you're involved with a career person, okay, we out here, doing our thing, um, and you're meeting someone and you find that they have a hectic work schedule,
Hmm.
what are the steps that they can take
Hmm.
so that you feel you're a priority to them?
That's good. So just to make sure I hear your question, if you are busy and they're busy,
Mm-hmm.
okay, if you're both busy, how can you make sure the relationship is in such a place where you feel like both of you feel like you are a priority to one another?
Mm-hmm.
That's good. All right, that's a great question because that happens today in general. Um, yes, come on with the question. I am for this question, by the way. Somebody said, come on with the question. So here's what you do. You made a good point, number one, about the scheduling, right? So having a schedule for yourself. What happens is a lot of people wake up and they haven't planned. So you've already lost time by having to get up and start your day and plan it. The first thing you can do to help give yourself a little more time, and this is personal because everything starts with self. Before I talk
Mm-hmm.
about you and that, so let me talk about you. You have to be ready when you wake up to start your day. All right. So the night before, plan your day. And in planning your day, you can plan day in.
Mm.
So what happens is most times we end up going through our day and we are near, let's say if we work at 9 to 5 and we're busy and you're busy all 9 to 5, you're getting off at 4:50, you're reaching out to Bay and you're like, hey, but then you also have stuff to do with your mama. You got stuff to do
Mm-hmm.
with your neighbor. You got to drop some stuff. You got to run to the grocery store. And in all of that, now you're trying to squeeze Bay into the last parts of your day. So if you had thought about that earlier, you may have been able to do a lunch break call.
Mm.
Yeah. You could have planned your day together. So the night before, you can actually already have a system of what you're going to do, what you want to achieve, and do that. That's just one option. Now, the next thing to incorporate would be in the moments that you are actually able to have conversations, make them the best conversations possible. If you can't have quantity, they at least need to be quantity.
True.
They have to be quality conversations where every time you engage, you are learning something unique and different about that person. There should be something shared that leaves you feeling like you are closer than before. I'm not
Mm.
talking about what you watched on Netflix or the thing you saw on TV. I am talking about something that is deep and personal. So whether it's finding a game to play where you now have to like 10 questions that you found off the internet, now you're engaging in the 10 questions. Maybe y'all are doing a shot game if y'all drink over Skype or something like that. Doing something fun that allows you to engage each other so it leaves a memory. If you can't have quantity, each one should be so quality that you can't wait to re-engage them again. You can't wait to re-engage them again.
Right. So you basically want the feeling of like, oh my God, I can't wait to talk again. I can't wait to speak to this person again. Like I'm just so happy every time I talk to them. The conversation is so good. Yeah, I get it. I love it.
So good. And we end up treating the person that we're trying to talk to intimately like somebody off the street. Here's what I mean. You have to automatically be more vulnerable, more open, and more transparent if this is somebody you are interested in. The fear of that is that they will hurt you with what you share. But
Very
the
true.
only way to get closer is to open up. How does a container get filled with water? It
Gotta open
receives
it
the
up.
lid. There you go. So the only way you can get filled in with love is to open yourself and make yourself vulnerable. So every conversation should be a little bit more of the opening, and it should be an exchange of the opening so that, hey, I didn't know that happened to you when you were a kid. I wasn't aware that you experienced that pain in your last relationship. I wasn't cognizant that your business went like that. And it's showing inner workings of things that you have kept hidden and private. And in releasing that, the bond deepens and gets stronger. So what I say in the Bible, it talks about three strands is not easily broken. I
Mm.
talk about the one strand is you. The other strand is your partner. This strand right here is the bond that you have created. And notice that it is normally longer than the other two because your secrets are normally bigger than both of you.
Okay.
But they tie you together in ways that nothing else will. So vulnerability, quality time will help link you together when you don't have quantity. You better have quality.
You're absolutely right about that because there's a guy that I was talking to, and I was just like, I don't like him. And it was because every time we talked to one another, he never wanted to share anything with me, but it's like he was trying to find out, everything about me. And then he always wanted to be pressing, like, oh, well, when am I going to see you? And when can we do this? And when we can do that? And I'm like, I don't even know anything about you, much less to be going on a trip somewhere with you. But like it did, I never felt, I know it sounds weird, but I never felt comfortable around him. And it wasn't like it was like a, oh, you're creepy or I think you're gonna hurt me. It wasn't that type of uncomfortable. I
Yes.
just didn't feel comfortable around him because he wasn't open, and I'm like, I don't know anything about you. Yeah.
Well, I heard this from an old bishop, and I hold this true to my heart. Don't ever get with anybody that doesn't have as much or more to lose than you.
Mm.
And the only way, if they don't have the same finances, they don't have the same popularity as you, if they don't have the same status as you in different ways, then vulnerability and honesty, what they're willing to share, what they're willing to give that either, and they don't have the finances, and they don't have the professional clout, and they don't have whatever else you have, then there is no way to make that work in the long run.
Well, you just saved so many women with that whole statement as far as not being connected to somebody that don't have as much or more to lose than you, because I don't want to go down the path, but some look, there's plenty of women that's out here not taking that advice. I'm gonna just leave it at that. So
No, it's
you,
real. It's real. They get with somebody who has secrets and they don't know they got a warrant out for their arrest. They
Hmm.
don't know. They don't know they got three kids somewhere. They don't know that they actually already married. They don't know.
Yes.
Like, there are things that you have, like, if you're not going to be on my level this way, and that's fine because we can all be at different levels. If I know that you're pushing, if I know that you're working, but if I can't, if there are too many secrets, then
Mm.
we don't have a foundation.
Facts.
You can't build on an unknown foundation. Can I just say that again? You can't build on an unknown foundation. I need to know your foundation.
Mm.
Best
That's true.
questions to answer, best questions to ask on a date, by the way, because this will help somebody. Best questions to ask on a date are about childhood. The best questions to ask are not about who you are now. It's asking who you've been. How
I
was your childhood?
completely agree.
Yes. How did you grow up? Both parents, one parent? Uh, did you have a lot of siblings around you? How were you in school? Like, how did you get along with your teachers? Because you will learn that man or the woman, they are basically the same person at their core. They may have done some readjustments and some growth, but who they are at their core is that person.
I completely agree 100% because a lot of times if I'm talking to someone and we're kind of going through questions or life experiences and I'm learning about them and they are every story is that someone has wronged them or done something to them or disrespected them or abandoned them. I'm like, everybody? Or they always got a lot of drama or somebody, the first thing a guy tells me is, I don't do drama. I'm heading for the hills because I already know it is him. He is the problem. He is dramatic. He does a lot of things. He does not take accountability for them. And then he gets upset whenever people have a reaction to whatever it was he put down. I've seen it time and time and time again. I don't know who in here that's younger than me, what lady that needs to hear that, but I'm telling y'all what your girl know. Okay, you need to listen to your big cuz Ashley Ann right now. If you need a dude in these streets and he's his
Yes.
I don't do drama, that run. It is him, okay? And he gotta announce it because he is surrounded with drama and chaos, and he has not yet realized that he is the catalyst to all of this drama and chaos. Run for the hills. I'm just telling y'all. Every guy I've ever met is I'm the
So true.
oh gosh, I got to go. It's you. Where is the door? Right now.
So true.
All right, check please. I gotta go. I'll pay. Don't worry about it. I will pay.
Check,
Thank you.
check
Thank you very
please.
much.
Right.
I'm out of
Check
here.
please. And
I'm out
yet
of
you
here.
can walk out on a date. Yes, you can. Let me tell
I
you
gotta
something.
walk
The
down
reason why you're so
today.
right, the reason why you are so right, though, is that when a person tells you they can't handle drama, they're telling you they're weak.
Mm,
When a person says they can't handle drama, they're telling you they are weak. Their weakness is in their inability to handle what life surrounds them with. See, people who are strong are able to take a situation, fuse out the drama, and make stuff plain. I don't know about you, but my Jesus walked on water. And he
come on.
walked on water in the midst of a storm. He told a storm to be still.
Yes,
So
it
if
is.
somebody really is strong, they can go into a situation, an environment, and they can calm it down. So whatever drama that they enter or whatever drama comes their way, they know how to fix it. Most people who are entrepreneurs have to be able to handle some drama. You got to be able
Absolutely.
to handle people who don't pay on time. You got to be able to handle crazy clients. You got to be able to handle this and that, circumstances that you didn't expect. So if you don't know how to handle drama, you're weak. You are weak. You're weak-willed. You're weak-minded. You haven't had enough experiences to be able to adapt. And so I don't mind. And I talked about this in another live just recently. That I don't mind if people have baggage, because to me, your baggage is your blessing.
Mm,
Think about that. The amount of experience, really, baggage is just experience. So you
that's an
telling me,
interesting concept.
I need to let that soak in. Your baggage is really just experience.
It's an
So you
interesting
are
concept.
telling me that you have had more experiences. And now those experiences make you somebody who can go in your bag, right? And pull from your experiences. But be cautious of people who have had no experience, who have no baggage. Because when you have no baggage and you have no experiences, you have nothing to draw from.
Mm.
You need a man or a woman who has been through something, who knows something. That's why some of the best people have already had a child, who have already had a marriage, who have already been abused and have gone through things and have seen a business fail. That's why some of the best entrepreneurs are people who tried a business before and it failed, because the experience from that baggage actually allowed them to become people who now knew how to operate with more efficiency, knew how to treat people better, had more compassion, had more understanding, had a broader sense of clarity about who they were because of the experiences they had. So when you meet somebody and they have baggage, it's not the question of if you have baggage, it's how you handle the baggage you had.
I definitely agree when you frame it like that, because I think for me, my perspective of baggage, like a lot of those things that you mentioned, I didn't ever view that as baggage. I had a totally different perspective of view or what I felt like baggage is. I think I look at baggage as when people come to you with things that they have not dealt with. And so now those things are dealing with them. Or
Yes.
when I see people who are, they just don't they just don't deal with things, and then it grows into all these other things. Or I see people that keep repeating the same behavior and then they're getting frustrated at the outcome, and I'm like, well, stop
Yes.
doing that and it clears up.
We have called that the wrong thing. That's not baggage. That's weakness. That's not baggage. That's weakness. Baggage is experience. Your things that you haven't dealt with, the cycles that you keep going on, the reason why you haven't dealt with a cycle is because you're weak. Like, think about doing this. If I ask you right now to do 50
Wait, can I
push-ups,
interrupt you? I love the way you're so comfortable just saying because you're weak. You like, hey, flat out, that's what it is. Because most people would try and dance around it. They would try and come up, with some beautiful, weird, system of words that they would string together instead of just saying you're weak.
Nope.
Let's see. Oh gosh, she said that's so mean. I don't think the truth is.
You
I
gotta
don't think
toughen
the
your
truth is
skin.
mean. You do,
No, it's not
especially
me.
if
It's
you're gonna be an
reality.
entrepreneur. Yeah, if you're gonna be an entrepreneur, you can't. You gotta be able to roll with them punches. You gotta be able to shake and bake. You gotta be able to take the stones
Can I
that
tell
people
you
throw at
this?
you and build
Why
with
this
them.
is so good? Because I love that somebody said that was mean. Here's why. Because I want to help break that right now. That mentality, I want to help you break that right now. I'm going to ask you to do 100 push-ups, right? Now, if you can't do it, does it mean that I said you're weak? Or is it true that you're weak? So don't allow someone calling you out on your truth. Don't allow someone calling you on facts to be mean. A fact is a fact.
Ooh, say that again. I say that a lot. Facts and feelings are not the same.
Facts and feelings are not the same. It's a fact. Like, if you're going through cycles and you're always seeing the same type of person and always dating the same type of person, you haven't broken your cycle. You're still weak. You haven't seen the signs. You haven't learned from your lesson. You haven't learned from your baggage. You haven't learned from your experiences. And you're still weak in that area. It doesn't mean that you're, like, if I told you to do 100 push-ups and you couldn't do it, but then I told you to do 100 squats and you could do it, it doesn't mean that you're weak in general. It means that you're weak in general.
Right. You got weak arms. You got weak arms.
You just got weak arms. You got weak upper body, but your lower body's fine. So it's gaining what we said earlier, balance. It's learning to be a balanced person. I see guys in the gym all the time. They got these huge chests and little scrawny legs.
Yes, Johnny Bravo.
They got little chicken legs. They got little chicken legs. And it's learning how to exercise your whole self. So that's what I do in love coaching. I help people exercise their entire selves so they are strong everywhere. And that's what you got to do when you're talking to somebody. You can't just ask about, how they do their finances. That's upper body. That's mind. I need to know how rooted you are. I need to know your lower body. I didn't know your family. I didn't know your friends. And not I don't even know them, but I didn't know how you interact with people that you care about. I didn't know what matters to you. I want to know your foundation.
Yeah. I just love, I think I'm loving so much, one, that is coming from a man's perspective, especially for my kingdom members that are here, because it's one thing to hear me talk and chat and say whatever I'm going to say, as a woman, but I think it's nice that they can know that there are other people who are very successful in life, because some of y'all just you're just knowing Byron as right now as he's introducing himself, but y'all have no idea who he really is and how successful he is, and the network that he has, right, and the things that he can get done. Whenever you are around other successful people, there are some things that people want to be in denial about, because I see some of the comments, they're still like, oh no, you can use loving words, you can do this, you can do that. But the truth of the matter is, like I tell y'all all the time, some of y'all are not used to the truth. And then
Mm,
you're offended when someone calls out a fact or an observation. And because you get offended by it, well, now all of a sudden you've put yourself in a position in life where you're not going to grow. You're not going to get to the next level. You're not going to experience the success that you want to, because you want to live in denial. Okay. You in
yes.
denial, and you need to swim up out that thing right now, like in real life. And so if someone tells you the truth, then you go, oh, they're being mean. No, they weren't being mean. They were telling you the truth. And you have people around you who have been lying to you. And because they've been lying to you, you have now limited your capabilities. You've limited how far you can go. Because if in order for you to get to that next bridge or that next stage, you got to be able to do those 100 push-ups before they
Yes.
will allow you to get to the next level or pass. As long as I'm not telling you you're weak in that area and you got to get to these 100 push-ups or whatever, and you think it's okay to just do 10 push-ups or 20 push-ups, you think you're really doing something because you out here doing 25, because people are lying. I see people all the time, they're like, man, I'm working, I was doing this, I'm making stuff happen, blah. They
Mm,
really in their mind think that they're working, and they're not. It's like, no, you're not doing enough to even get someone to look at you. And
mm,
when people love you or they're really your friends, because y'all know I'm country, in the country, people tell you the truth. They're not telling you to hurt you. They're telling you the truth, because before you get out in the world, they want you to be right when you're in the house. They want you to get out there and succeed, because they know the world is going to be much harder on you
much
than they
harder.
will ever be. And they're not going to, lie to you or tell you these things because you don't want to know the truth. It's like, if there's a problem, do you want somebody, if you're doing something the wrong way, do you want to continue to do it the wrong way? All because your ego is too sensitive to handle someone saying, hey, you're actually not doing that the right way. These are the proper instructions. And if you continue to do it that way, this is going to cause a problem, and you're not going to get the goal that you want. And
Can I
I
tell
meet
you?
people like that all the time. They're so
That's so true.
hypersensitive. Their egos are so easily bruised that they cannot handle some correction. They can't handle some critique. They
At
can't
all.
handle when someone tells them the truth. And because, oh, I don't like the word that you told me, because some of y'all were taken aback. I could tell by the comments when Byron said, you're weak. He said it several times. And that's why I was like, oh my God, I'm loving this, because people are not used to people telling them the truth.
Yeah,
And
because
sometimes we're
look,
weak
I
in some areas.
realize, honestly, I realize when I talk to my clients, I can help them identify their self love levels by the way I talk to them.
Mm,
Because when you have real self love, you don't have time to waste.
true.
See, people who waste time struggle with self love. Like if you need someone to coddle you and pat you on the back and soothe you all the time, you have self-love issues that are
Mm,
unresolved. When you have real self-love, you be like, okay, this is what I know. Like imagine you really want to get somewhere, like you gotta get there and you gotta get there fast, right? Like you are so committed to getting there on time. You don't ask the person who tells you, hey, so here's what you're gonna do. You are going to go down to the Wendy's, and at the Wendy's, you're going to go up 1 block, and then you're going to go one more block, and then you're going to go one more block, and then you're going to go one more block, and then you're going to make a right at that fourth block. And on the fourth block, you're going to make the right, and you're going to turn slowly. No, no. You want the person to say, okay, here's how you get there. You go up 4 blocks and you make a right. right? Like,
Mhm.
have time to hear block by block, blah, blah. Like, I need to hear I'm weak and I need to fix it. And then in that, I can figure out the steps to get it right.
Man, let me
Because I got enough self-love in
Byron.
myself that I just need to get there. I'm
Byron.
rather be right. I would rather get there than to feel like you are appreciating me, or like I need you to affirm me. I don't need you to affirm me. I need you to help me to get there. And by you telling me I'm weak, that helps me to get there. That helps me to speed up my process and get there faster. Because the faster I can get there, I can get to the next there. Some people are still single because they haven't gotten to the self-love piece that will
Mhm.
help them in a relationship. And so they can't date right because they can't love right. They can't love themselves right. And so you're trying so hard to be accepted and be affirmed and all these things. But these things don't get you a person. These things don't get you a man. These things don't get you a woman. Guess what gets you there? Somebody telling you, baby, the way you date is wrong.
Mhm.
The way you
It's true.
love, the way
It's
you express
wrong.
love is wrong.
Let me say, I'm about to say something that's probably that makes people mad, but we over here in truth mode, so it is what it is. There are several women who get offended whenever I share my story about I was married before. So I share my story about my former marriage and how I had to come to the realization that
Yes.
even though I had to deal with domestic abuse, even though he would cheat, even though he wouldn't come for days at a time, I had to accept my accountability in that. And I will say that in every single time, there are so many women that will get mad, they will get offended. No, it's never your fault, blah, 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 blah. No, dog, there are some things in our life that are our fault. I'm not saying it's my fault that he hit me. He's in
Right.
control of his own emotions and his actions and what he does. It's not my fault that he was out there cheating, but I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that there weren't some things in me that I needed to change or shift that would trigger all kinds of feelings in a man. Now, right now, different men are going to react different ways with those feelings. But at the end of the day, there were some things in me that I needed to shift. And if I didn't, I was going to be single forever. I was going to keep repeating the same cycle, right? It was
Right.
going to keep being thing after thing after thing, and they don't want to hear it. And I'm like, you gotta have a come to Jesus meeting, like, and with yourself, and say, okay, this is where I am in my life right now. What decisions have I made? Even if you, the person, like I was talking about, everybody abandoned me, everybody abused me, everybody did this, and that, and the third. You know what? You're the common denominator because you keep putting those people in your life, right? That is not everybody else. It gets to a point, it's you, and you have to be able to look and say, what did I do to escalate this situation? Maybe
Mm.
I could have moved a different way and de-escalate it. How have I been acting? So one of my big things for me, every dude I dated, no matter how much money he had, no matter how successful he was, if he was a dope boy, a prep boy, an NFL player, a
Yes.
NBA player, a minister, a preacher, a UPS, Joe Schmo, I had this ability to make every single man feel like I didn't need them. Every guy
Mm.
would be like, you don't need me, you don't need me, you don't need me. This was for like a year and a half or 2 years, right? I had
Yes.
to adjust what I was doing to put that signal out to make all these men from different walks of
Whew.
life, because I don't discriminate. I'm like, hey, you cute, what's up? But
Let's go for it. Give
all
love a
of
try.
them, no matter how rich they were, how successful they were, how popular they were, I had this thing that I was doing that was making every single one of those men feel like they didn't need me. And if a man feels like he's not needed, he's not gonna stick around. And I had to take accountability and be like, okay, Ashley, if you don't change some of these things, you gonna have a hard time maintaining a relationship. And a lot of women, we will not tell ourselves the truth. And then I see some people in here countering me. That's fine. You gonna stay lonely, or you gonna stay broke, or you gonna stay wherever you at,
You know
because
what? You're right. I'm
because
gonna
our
tell you why
girls
you're right. I'm gonna tell you exactly why
I
you're
have
right.
girlfriends with a lot of us. You know what I'm saying?
It's
Well,
true.
it's just him. The girl, they just intimidated. That's a whole lie. My grandma is one of the strongest women I ever met in my life. My mama is one of the strongest women I ever met in my life. And Chief Keef, my daddy, is super strong. My papa, George Jackson, was super strong. So you can't even sit there. They just intimidated. So every man on the planet Earth is a punk now. Nah, girl, nobody has to take you exactly as you are. Sometimes
Yes.
we got to level up and change, and we have to take accountability and say, what am I doing? How am I acting? How am I speaking? What is going on to cause this type of reaction in person after person after person after person? That's all. I'm going to shut up now, Byron.
No,
Go
you
on.
good.
Pull them
That's
together.
good. You on it. You're on fire right now, and I love it. I love that. That not only is this so necessary in multiple ways, but it opens up the door to be able to have a healthy conversation. Because I feel like if I were somebody said this is Pentecost, so I'm gonna go ahead and go to church a little bit. I'm gonna take you right to Genesis, right? Genesis
Mhm.
1, where it says that the earth was void. There was a void in the earth. That the earth was void. It was dark. It was bleak, right? And what did God do? What did God do when it was when it had the void in the dark?
He said, let there be light.
Let there be light. So the first thing God did, God had to first be strong, not weak, and accept that there was darkness. See,
Mm.
some people, first word is acceptance. First, if you don't understand that things are happening in your life that are dark and you have voids. See, some people don't even realize they have voids. And that's why you can't speak light into your void, because you don't even accept it as a void. So
Mm.
the first thing you got to understand is you got to accept that there is some darkness in your life. You are not doing things right. Some things are voids. Something is missing. Something is lacking. And when you identify what is lacking, then you can go to the second thing. You ready?
I'm ready. I'm
All
look.
right.
I'm waiting
I
and
know you're
trembling because I need to know.
which is to affirm. So now you got to affirm that there is light. You got to affirm because it's just letting there be light. See, you're
Mm.
not creating light. You don't have to create a relationship. You don't even have to attract a relationship. All you need to do is become the
Mm.
thing that you are. Let yourself be the person. That's right. By accepting, you have to then allow yourself to be the person that will now receive the person
Mm.
that is for you.
That's
So let me
good.
say it this way, right? Okay. So imagine, I'm trying to find something close. Okay, this is my wine glass. So imagine this is you, right? This is you. But this is what God wants to pour in you, right?
Mm.
But this doesn't fit in this.
Mm.
So now, is God going to send you this if this is you? Why would
Mm-mm.
God waste sending this? So you have to be the person, you have to be the person that brings the thing that is yours. You have to create the foundation for, like, imagine this. Imagine trying to have a whole crew. You're asking God, God, send me a skyscraper, send me a skyscraper. And in your lot is a foundation for a house.
Mm.
God can't build a skyscraper on a house foundation.
Come on now.
So you have to accept that you have some voids.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have to speak that thing, but then you have to say it's good. See, a lot of us are not doing this. When we create the light in our life, when we get a little glimmer of light in our hearts and we start making some positive moves, we don't then affirm it by saying, this is good. Like,
Yes.
I like
You have
this. I
to.
like this feeling. I like the way this is working in my life. I'm gonna keep this around because this is good. I like the way he treats me. I like the way I feel. I like the way it sounds when I hear his voice. I like the way the words that he's using. See, we don't say it's good. We say, wow, this is happening, right? We acknowledge it's happening, but we say, but you know what? He could, he might, and then we
Mm.
insert something negative. He might let me down. He might not be honest. He might not be true. It might not be real. Instead of just saying it's good.
Right. It's
And
good. And I'm
accept
enjoying it.
that it's good.
Yes.
and being the person that knows you deserve the goodness you're getting.
Yes.
You deserve, everybody ought to just say, I deserve, come on, I
I
deserve
deserve
the goodness
the goodness
I want.
I want.
I
Hey, come on now.
deserve the goodness I want.
I
And when you
deserve the goodness
believe that,
I want. Snap
come on,
on
and when
it.
you believe that, guess what? You will keep that in your life. You will keep that light, and you will learn how to separate, guess what? Light from dark. You will call it
Absolutely.
day and night. You will say, this is good, this is not. You will identify quicker what is
Yes,
nighttime and what is daytime. You will say,
absolutely.
baby, you are coming in my life, and I see your night. Oh, I see the day in you, and I see the night in you. And you
Okay.
got to learn how to have that clarity. But it all starts, and I'm going to say this, it all starts with accepting the voids in your heart.
Yes, come on and get us together.
Yes, you are
Yes.
worthy. You are worthy.
But it's so true because people will not acknowledge, and that's one of the biggest things, like one of the biggest hurdles I have to deal with some of the clients that come to me. And I have to tell some of them, I'm like, well, if you were right, or if what you were doing was working, you wouldn't even be here with me right now. You are going to have to accept that what you have been doing is not the right answer. And if there are some people, when we do the assessment, I literally will not take them on as a client, because I'm like, I don't feel like having to fight somebody
Yes.
every time we have a session, every time we have a consultation, because it's always going to be, all of this, all of this, all of this. And I'm like, no, it's not. So I don't know, whoever's listening, I hope, and I'm praying for you right now, that you will get a friend or a family member, a colleague, someone in your life who really loves you, and they will speak the truth to you, and you will accept it, not become offended. You will accept some things that are true and go into mode to elevate those things, create and affirm it, so that way you can get what you want in your life. Because some of us can't get what we want because we simply will not acknowledge. Just like, even if you go, I don't know if any of you guys know anyone that's ever been to an AAA or like a 12-step program, and they always say the first step is admitting you have a problem. And a lot of us have issues, and we are running around and will not admit that it is an issue, that it is a problem. You can't fix it if you won't acknowledge it.
That's a whole word right there. You can't fix it if you won't acknowledge it. If it's not real to you, you can't really change it. You can only change what you see. And let me just tell you, you don't see the world as it is. You see the world as you are. And
Yes.
often the reason why you only see men who aren't good for you is
Mm.
because you got some things in you that aren't good for you. And until you uproot the things that aren't good for you, until you de-weed your own yard, you won't see the beauty in another. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard when you're living with acceptance of weeds in your own life to see the beauty of someone else in full retrospect. So I challenge you. I challenge you to boss up your heart, to boss up as you're bossing up your business, boss up your heart. Strengthen as you're getting more money and bringing more money into your bank account, bring more self-love into your heart. Accept yourself on a deeper level, because that's the only way. That is the only way. I say this all the time, and I love John Maxwell. He has an amazing leadership program. He talks about the law of lid. You need to write this down. The law of lid. The law of lid says that a business will never be greater than the leader, and that
That's
the
right.
staff can never be greater than the boss. So it's saying, I don't care if you have out of 1 out of 10, if you have a 10 employee, if the boss is a 7, the employee can only operate to a 7.
That's
I
right.
use that for love, because if you are at a 7 capacity of love, I don't care if somebody comes into your life with 10, you will only be able to receive 7,
Yeah.
and only be able to give back 7. So you probably have had 10s in your life that you couldn't see because you were so 7 that your 7 blurred the 3.
Mm, 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 mm. I
Yes.
was having this conversation with my friend the other day, and I was telling him that he expects things from some people in his life that they don't have the capacity to give. Because my mama calls it a 10-gallon bucket is what she calls it. And I'm like, you're a 10-gallon bucket and they are a gallon jug. And what's inside of the 10-gallon bucket the gallon jug can never contain it all. It never can. And then the what's inside of the 1-gallon jug can never fill up the 10-gallon bucket. It's never gonna work. It's not.
Never.
It's never
Never.
ever
But
ever
guess
gonna
what with
work.
that? Here's the problem. Here's the illusion though. If you are the one who is, let's say you're the one who's the 10 gallon and you meet a gallon, the gallon becomes infatuated with you
Yes.
because when they go in your 10 gallon, they're in there, right? So I'm just gonna put it, I'll get my new water.
They
They're
always get
in you.
food.
They all in you. This is the 1 gallon, this is the 10. They all in you. And guess what? They are fully satisfied.
Yes.
They are fully satisfied.
And
But
they
guess what?
always full.
They always
Always.
full. But you are
Always.
always empty. You are always wanting and
Yes.
wondering why you never feel complete.
Hey. Hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. You
So
better
when you talk
you
about equally yoked, don't make it all spiritual. Don't make it all spiritual. It is very basic. Equally yoked means I am equally complete by your completeness.
mm,
Your completeness, because you're already complete. Your completeness and my completeness end up completing one another in a way we didn't know. It translates into a way that two wholes become a whole. And we didn't. The miraculous thing about a relationship is that you don't even realize how your wholeness and another person wholeness now complete something in you that you didn't know you needed to complete. But
yes.
it's not that you come empty. It's that you both are so full that you fill up more in your life. And that's why you see increase. And that's why you see expansion. And that's why you can handle the love of children. And that's why you can have own homes. And that's why you can have businesses together, because you two are so complete that your
Yes.
completeness expands.
Yes, it's just like Clydesdales, y'all. Independently, a Clydesdale can pull about 800 pounds, but you put two of those Clydesdales together, you would think it's just 1,600. Nah, they can pull in between 3,200 and 4,500 like that. Independently, only 800. You put them together, thousands, just like that. Tapped into that multiplication, can level up and can move all kinds of things that they never could move independently, even though they're the top of the top and the best of the best.
Yes,
Man,
that's it right there. That's it right. That's
man,
why the enemy. That's why I'm telling you, if in our community, they know if they can break up relationships, if
yes,
they can get people, and I mean this, and I mean this to your followers, to you, I mean this. If they can make women and men so independent minded that I don't need a relationship, if you
yes,
get people saying that, then you will keep the power levels down. What you just said, you will
yes,
keep the
yes.
power
Oh my
levels down
God.
in your community.
Byron, I've been saying this for years, and people would think that I was crazy, and now they're starting to see these agendas coming out. And I tell women, like, they will come in, they'd be like, Ashley, you don't need no man, you strong. I'd be like, don't you speak that evilness on my life? I do need a man, and I want a man, and we gonna be together. And I take honor in being somebody's missus, because exactly that, you are stronger together than you are divided.
That is the
You
word.
and it's more.
Arlene just put that in.
It's not just a double. It is multiplication. You are sometimes 10 and
Exponential
20
growth.
times, okay, stronger together. Do you know how many men and women are catalysts to one another? And yeah, they may be doing great by themselves. He may be doing great. She may be doing great. But bam, they get together, and all of a sudden, they can rule the world.
The world.
If you
The
look
world.
at if you even look at the richest men in history, they all have wives.
All
They
of them.
all, they all have wives. They were not able to do it alone because we are stronger together. And there is a big attack on the family, like especially when we get into the black family. and it goes into independence, and then them trying to make black women view black men as weak or all bad or trifling. You know what I'm saying? Like all these things that I hear women say. And I'm like, I don't know what y'all talking about. Like, I'm surrounded by good men. I see them everywhere all day long. Good men in my family, good men on my colleagues, good co-workers. I see them everywhere. I'm like, it's where you are looking, but there's this big agenda to put this push so that we think, right? So that we think that. So now all of a sudden, in your mind, right? Because I hear women say this all the time. Excuse my language. They're like, they say niggas ain't shit.
Right.
I hear that. I hear that all the time.
And guess what? Your words work. Your words work. And when you speak that niggas ain't shit, guess what? You're gonna attract niggas that ain't shit.
Yes, all the time. And I'm like, no, I'm like, that's not true. I'm like, I know a lot of good black men that don't cheat on their wives, don't beat them, go to work, pay their bills, pray for their woman, spend time with the kids, support her goals and her dreams. I know plenty. I see them every goddamn day. And I'm like, you can't say that. And they'll be like, there she go again. I'm telling you, because it's the truth. And the more you keep speaking this, it's going to keep happening. And we cannot afford to lose any more of our good men. And then for a lot of us, it's like, what would happen if we spoke life over one another? So instead of you, and this is the thing that's crazy, I will hear women say this that have sons. And I'm like, your son is hearing you. Even if you don't think he's hearing you, you like, oh, I was on the phone. You know, he was asleep. No, he was awake and he heard that. And that energy soaked into the walls. And that energy is in the atmosphere. And he's waking up and moving into that. And you're speaking damnation on your own child. You're speaking it onto his life and don't even realize that you're doing it. If most of us spoke of women, you know what I'm saying? Like in a higher standard. Do you know how many more men and women would be able to unlock their potentials if someone would speak over us and say good things about us instead of saying all the negative things that we see? If I can tell you you're a boss, if I can tell you you're creative, if I can tell you you're talented, if I can tell you you're capable, you're smart, you're going to be able to get it. It comes easy to you. Even if you get frustrated, you're going to be able to figure out a way over it, and you're going to be stronger. If you can speak like that to people into their lives, because y'all know I'm super mindful about the way I speak to the kingdom and saying the right things to y'all, because we have to speak that over each other. We cannot continue to speak death. Even with all of this stuff that's happening right now with George Floyd, it is bothering me that I keep seeing people. I understand, but it bothers me that all these people keep saying, I can't breathe, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. You're speaking that on you. How about I can't breathe?
We will breathe.
To something else. We are breathing. Our lungs are stronger. You can't silence us. Something, but stop saying this everywhere. And then all of a sudden, now we out. It's fires everywhere. It's tear gas everywhere. It's mace and pepper spray everywhere. All these things that are affecting your lungs and your community. But we don't look at what we're speaking. We don't look at what we're doing. We don't look at what we're wearing. We don't pay attention to what we're hashtagging. And now you have, right, hundreds of thousands or millions of people, right, all saying, I can't, instead of saying, we can overcome, right? We can breathe. We will survive. You can't silence us, right? Respect my life matters. My life is important, okay? You know what I'm saying? I am from royalty. It's very frustrating sometimes for me because I understand the power of words. Like I'm in a season in my life, and I've been here for a while, and I'm gonna stay as long as God allows it. I literally see what I speak.
Yes.
I see what I speak. I wake up and I say, I want to make $50,000 today. I do it. I want to buy a house. I do it. I want to help 15 people. I do it. I want to lose 10 pounds. I do it. I want that tree to grow right there. I do it. I want whatever it is that I want to help 100 people make $1,000. Well, look at that. I'd have helped 100 people make $1,000 in 2 weeks. Y'all don't understand the power of your words. You can speak what you want to see. And some of us see crazy things in our lives because we speak terrible things over our lives.
I agree. Your words are like a delivery van. And whatever you're speaking, you are giving directions to them, to that van, right into your life. And so you better make sure that what you put on there, what you order, is what you really want. I'm telling you, the thing I'm telling you, the thing that's going to pull up in your yard, the thing that's going to pull up in your life, the thing that you keep saying you keep attracting, you went on the Amazon in your mouth and ordered that thing. And I promise you, it cost you something. That's right. And I promise you, it cost you something. I promise you, it cost you some time. I promise you, it cost you some tears. I promise you, it cost you some faith. I promise you, it cost you some energy. But if you can speak life, it will gain you some things, because the thing you just bought with your words now becomes an investment that gives that exponential growth back into your life. So yes, you are able to speak. I want to help 100 people make $1,000, but guess what? That 100 people making $1,000 now delivers something else, because now you are helping to exponentially expand the kingdom. See, we don't understand that when we speak life into the universe, it's not just for us. And that's why what you just said about I can't breathe has to now be, people laughing about my Amazon in the mouth. That's so funny. When people speak, I can't breathe, that's so true, because you have to start saying we can breathe, because that positivity is going to create the world that we want to see. It's going to create the world. It's going to send out agents of love and healing and power and empowerment into people's lives. And it's going to transform the way people think, the way people react, the way people feel about themselves. And if I could speak anything to especially my Black brothers out there, it is that you have to speak that you can, that you are able, that you have the possibility, that it is real, that you have the capability to perform and to do and to make it happen, to change your world. And Black women, you are the support system. You can do it. You are the wind beneath our wings. You are the agent of our change. You help us to become. You help us to think differently. You support the entirety of the Black family. You have the ability to create a community. You have the ability to create legacies. You have the ability to create generations just with your body. And I tell you, if you can combine your body with your words, and your words with your mind, and your mind with your belief, you can change the world.
Well, y'all weren't ready for that, was y'all? Too much truth sauce.
Come on now.
Too much sauce at one time. It's facts. It's facts. It's nothing but facts of life. And a lot of times people will look like, especially in business, they feel like I'm some type of special case or a unicorn or something. I'm like, no, I didn't do anything except for tap into my power, the same power that you have the ability to tap into. I changed my actions. I changed my speech. I changed how I thought. I became more mindful of what I was doing. And if what I was saying and doing actually lined up with the goal that I wanted to accomplish. Like, I can't get caught up in the moment right now.
Yes.
What's the overall goal? If what I am doing and thinking, is it lining up with my overall goal? If it is, it's okay for me to press forward. If it's not, I need to leave that alone. And once I started basing decisions off of where I want to be instead of how I feel, my life changed drastically.
True. Like almost overnight.
Yeah.
You can literally change your world. Like imagine the farmer that says it hasn't rained and I don't believe that I will have crop. Well, guess what he won't do? He won't go out and till the ground.
That's right.
I'm talking to a gardener here, right? So he won't go out and treat the ground at all, because he doesn't believe that it's even possible for there to be any life out of that ground. But imagine the person who still didn't see any rain, haven't seen rain in a while, but decided, you know what, I haven't seen the rain, but what I believe is that it eventually will. All things circle back around, and even though it's been a drought, the rain has to come. And I believe in the possibility of the rain falling, and not just falling somewhere here, not just saying it, but directing it, falling around my house, falling on my land, falling on my crops. See, I don't just speak. I believe in peace. I believe in peace in the Black community. I believe in peace in the United States. So you got to go So it's peace in the land. So this farmer has to say, I believe in rain, but I believe in rain. I believe in rain on my field. And then when he says that, because it's his field. See, when you say, I believe in rain, then you can still not do anything because rain could be anywhere. And
That's
you're not
right.
going anywhere to treat the ground. You need to treat the ground in your yard. So you
Mm.
speak to the thing that's in your yard. So I
Yes.
say, I'm going to treat my yard. So you say, rain, come in my yard. And when the rain falls in your yard, before it comes, you go out in your yard because you pray for the rain to come in your yard. And you
Hey,
treat
come
your
on.
yard. You work in your yard. And you are specific, not just what you spoke, but what you work in. So you got to align what you're speaking with your work. And when your faith and your works align, because I love that scripture, faith without works is dead, but
Yes.
you make sure you're working in the faith that you spoke in. You can't work outside of the faith you're speaking about. So
Mm-hmm.
when you work in the faith you're speaking in, the rain has to come in that space.
It
You are
does.
attracting the rain to the place that you spoke, my people. No, you don't just say, I believe in love. I believe in love for my life. I believe I will be married. I don't just believe in marriage. I believe I will be married. I believe I will be married. And guess what? I will be married in less than 2 years, because see, that's what I wanted. So I will be married in less than 2 years. So when you speak that, now you start thinking different. You start planning different. You start becoming somebody that in 2 years will be married. You start becoming the person that matches what you're asking for. You
Mm-hmm.
become a farmer that is now dirty because you've been working in your field.
Come on now. It's true. It's true. I tell people all the time, if you pray for something and then you don't go out and prepare what you just prayed for, then you just did a disservice and you don't believe that it's really coming.
Period.
That is faith without works. Working is an action. Preparation is an action. If you want to manifest something in your life, if you're ready for something to come, you get out and you get in it. And it's very true what you said. That farmer that's like, I don't think it's gonna rain. He's not gonna till. He's not gonna weed. He's not gonna irrigate. He's not gonna rotate the crops. He's not gonna plant. He ain't doing none of that because he's already told himself it's not gonna happen. So even if the rain did come, he still wouldn't have a harvest
Come
because
on.
he did not prepare. But the person that goes out and prepares, and it may be a lot of hard work, and people may look at you like you're crazy. People may not quite understand what's going on because I've experienced a whole lot of that in my life. But guess
Mm.
what? Your girl got the last laugh, okay?
Come on. You
When
know what I
God
started
is
doing?
preparing.
I started walking in my life. This is how I changed my life. I'll say this last thing. This is how I changed my life. I started walking out. Well, let's use the rain analogy. I started walking in my life and I started saying, this rain feels good.
Mm,
I love how the rain looks as it's falling in my lane, on my land. I love what the rain is doing in my yard. Here's what I mean. I'm not going crazy, but it's that I understood because I could see it before I saw it. And that's
come
what
on.
faith is. It is the ability to see something. And when you surround yourself with the energy that it already is. So when it comes to like somebody who's single and want a man, guess what? This is what you do. I love how it feels when I laugh with him.
Mm,
I love how it feels to have a conversation with someone who is on my level and they engage me and I engage them. I love the sense of knowing that I'm secure with the person I'm with. That feels good because what you're doing now is you are training your mind, your body, and your spirit to level up the capacity to match that feeling. You are literally practicing the thing before you get it, so that when you get it, not only can you recognize it, but you can handle it.
yes. Because it ain't nothing worse than praying for something and asking God for it. And then when it get there, you don't know what to do with it and you
You
can't
didn't know
handle
what to
it
do
because
with
you mess it up.
it.
Because
You
you
be like,
weren't
yeah,
practicing, because you weren't preparing. So when it came, you hadn't made enough room and you didn't have the capacity to handle it. Come on now.
that's it. That reminds me of Family Matters when Steve Urkel was going after Laura. And then when she finally was like trying to get him, he would be like, ooh, ooh, ooh. Because he hadn't really prepared in his mind that she would ever really want him back. And so
Right.
when he finally got it, he didn't know how to handle it.
He sure didn't.
His body went into shock. You don't want to go into shock when you get your blessing.
It's the truth. And I feel like there are many people in here, when they look back on it, they realize that's what happened. The blessing came and they went into shock because they had not prepared, because they didn't really think it was going to come. Then it got there
Absolutely.
and they didn't know what to do with it.
They've had a client that could have turned their business around. They didn't know how
Mm-hmm.
to handle it. They've had an opportunity that could have opened up several doors, and they didn't have the mind for it, and they didn't have the preparedness. They didn't have their stuff together when it came. They had an opportunity. I believe that anybody who's gone out and tried to do so, I took it to Urkel. That's right. Anybody who tried to go out to something and quit, and like God said, okay, here you go, and you weren't ready. Guess what? You missed it. But that is, again, a part of your. Let's go back. A part of your baggage, that now that you've had that experience, it's time to pull from your bag and say, you know what? I have messed up. It's time to stop being weak and hiding from the things you've messed up in, your failures, your flaws, your mistakes, the things you slipped in, and go in your bag and acknowledge, okay, I did this. This is real. Okay? This is real. You know, this little flower I got one flower on my desk that I like it, and it's fake, but somebody got it for me. And I'd be like, this is fake. This is real. It's not real. I get it. I'm pulling this out of my bag. I got a fake thing in my life. This part of my life was fake. You got to be real with that. And that's how you address your life. You can accept the things to move forward into, again, accepting your life so you can speak light into that darkness.
Come on now. That's beautiful. That's step by step. I hope y'all was taking some notes, okay? So that when you can look back at it and you be like, okay, what I'm supposed to do? Boom.
Right.
Okay. How I'm supposed to feel? All right, boom. What I'm
Bam.
supposed to prepare with next? All right. How am I supposed to affirm this? Okay, come on. We moving somewhere. Now we got what we want.
Just like that.
Just like that. Just like that. Oh my gosh, it was so good.
This was good. You did good. Oh my God.
You did good. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything.
This was a heart episode right here. This was a real heart episode right here.
Look, I just was in the amen corner. That's all.
Oh no, you were on it. You were on it. I promise you. Come on, we just had a little bit of church.
Real quick, for those of you that are still quarantined.
Right. Hello.
Look, don't nobody care about that no more. Corona disappeared. No.
Come on, let me tell you something. You better live beyond Corona. You better be thinking about what's beyond Corona. You're gonna be successful. You better be thinking about what's beyond Corona. I'm telling you that. For your dating life, for every part of your life. I'm telling you. You better be thinking about tomorrow right now. You better be thinking. Look, in fact, it's late enough for what I said at the beginning of this. You need to go ahead before you go to bed tonight and start planning out your tomorrow. Start planning out your Monday. Start saying, this is what my Monday, and if you get real ambitious, start saying it good all the way to your Friday. Say, by Friday, this is what I need to accomplish. See, when you have your life set, I promise you, you will be ready. You will be ready for the thing that's coming. You will be ready. Because here's why I say this. It's because the thing that you are about to plan tomorrow, if you plan tomorrow, you're going to have to think about it tomorrow. But if you start planning tonight, your unconscious mind can begin working on it while you're sleeping. And the Spirit of God can tap into your mind while you're sleeping and give you ideas, dreams, and visions about the thing that you want and help you clarify some things. So when you wake up, you have to spend less time planning and more time preparing for the thing that God
Come on now. Come on. That's sound advice. Solid. Straight up and down. You didn't tell no lies. Big old fan.
You did good. Yes. Come on, Heart.
Thank you.
For this was solid right here. Thank you so much for being on the show. I don't even know. I'm at the bottom of the screen. I don't even know. It's your show, my show. This is just a great show, and that's what this is about. Having real conversations that help somebody, and that was definitely accomplished tonight. So great job. Yes, it was. Yes, it
Great
was.
job. Look, and we got on past our technical issues.
We
So we
did
did a
right
great
on. Yeah,
thing.
that was just the way it was supposed to be. So I'm fine with it. Whatever we were supposed to delay, it was delayed, and that was fine. Um, Tell everybody where they can find you who doesn't know you. Go ahead and tell them and what you do so that they can make sure for whoever tapped in tonight and don't know you. Go ahead and tell them who
Yes.
you are.
Find me at King Ashley Ann on Facebook, Instagram, Periscope, and Twitter. I really don't tweet that much, but every now and then I give people something on Twitter. But I'm at King Ashley Ann everywhere. I'm a business builder. God has allowed me to help over 7,000 people make money with their social media accounts. Over 500 of my clients have created six-figure incomes, and 138 of them have hit the $1 million mark in under 12 months. I give all kinds of business and strategy trainings that should cost anywhere from $100, up to thousands of dollars for free, 99 on my Instagram Live and sometimes on Facebook Live as well. So if you ever want to tune into those, you can text the word coins to 313131. Text the word coins. Don't miss that S with 313131. Text the word coins to 313131. If you're outside of the United States, follow me on Instagram or Facebook. Click the link in my bio. Scroll down to what is called the free 99 section, and you can join the Royal Court. And then I can shoot you a little email instead of a text message of when I'm doing the live sessions and the trainings. And for those of you who care, right now I'm in the middle of fundraising for our Black business owners that were affected negatively by the riots and the looting. I want to make
Yes.
sure that I make it clear that we are separating the protesters from the agents of chaos. It is a very old historical tactic for those of you that don't know that when there is a protest or a gathering of Black people or something dealing with Black people and them getting their rights, that there are white supremacy groups that will actually show up and they will put in plants. There are different anti-Black groups that will show up. Sometimes the police themselves will actually pop things out by getting violent, which is what they did here in Little Rock, Arkansas last night. It was a peaceful protest, and they released the tear gas on us and began to be very hostile and rude when there literally was not one incident. They've done the same thing in Tampa, and the world is different now because we all have cell phones and social media, so we can record these things and put them out to other people. So I want to make sure that I make it very clear that I am not lumping the protesters in the group with these agents of chaos. And some of you guys need to not be so quick, okay, to believe that there are Black people out here destroying our own communities and stores. If I'm keeping funky with you, Black people may steal some stuff, but we're not cutting gas lines. We're not letting animals out the zoo, okay? They literally let people, Black people don't like stray dogs, okay? They don't even like stray cats. You think they're going to go and try and let a giraffe, a lion, a bear, a tiger out the zoo? Come on now. They're provocateurs, and what they do is they capitalize on the emotion of the crowd, and it's normally somebody to pop things off. And there have been several videos floating around right now where you can see people that were not a part of the community who were actually vandalizing and breaking things, starting fires, cracking windows, getting everything started. Most of the arrests that have come inside of Minneapolis, Atlanta, Chicago, anywhere from 80% to 100% of those people that they arrested were not even from those cities. So I want to make sure, because I don't want anyone to use the excuse of, oh, well, Black people shouldn't be rioting and tearing up their own communities. For years, it has not been us tearing up our own communities. It has been these outside entities coming in and planting themselves or hijacking our protest, okay, to put out this narrative. Let me go ahead and get that out there. And for those of you that don't know, I'm from Little Rock, Arkansas in the South, so I'm very well versed on my Black history, because this is something that, like, in y'all's bigger metropolitan cities, you guys are able to escape the racism sometimes because it's a little, well, you can't escape it because it's still systematic, but it's a little bit more covert there. But here is overt, okay? I've been called a nigger bitch, a moon cricket, all sorts of types of things, and I'm not even that old. So for those of you that did not know, the police department, okay, in America were former nigger catchers. That's how we came to have the police. Their job was to catch niggers, okay? To torture, to kill us, return us to our masters. So I want you guys to understand this is why there's such a heavy fold of systematic oppression and racism, and them not viewing Black men and women as humans, and them viewing us beneath them. I just want to make sure I get that clear. Okay, so everybody understands what I'm saying right now. So to help our brothers and sisters who have negatively been impacted by these riots and by the looters, not by the peaceful protesters, but by the rioters and the looters who have had their businesses bashed in, set on fire, lost their inventory, furniture destroyed, right? Maybe where their insurance is not kicking in because it doesn't cover rioting and looting, okay? I have put my emergency sales kit on sale today. It is $1,000 program that shows you how to make money with your social media pages, even without a website, without a large following, without tech skills. It is a phone and face strategy that actually works. It's $1,000 program. You get step-by-step what to post on your social media, when to post it, how to set up your payment processes, how to put together your emails, what should be inside of them, how to get people to come to your lives, all that stuff you need to start making money. Okay, having a name your price sale. So if you are following me, click the link in my bio, tap the very first button. What I am doing is 100% of those profits are going directly to Black businesses that have been affected, okay? So, and y'all know in the kingdom, we have these flash sales all the time, and I've seen y'all pull out $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 on me in a 12-hour period. So I'm asking you to dig down in your heart, in your soul, and in your pockets, okay? And do this to support the community. And this is an amazing way because now you're able to invest in yourself and get something that's going to help you create income, but you're also able to invest in another business owner. You're able to invest in our community, okay? Blinkety blink, blink, blink. So click the link in the bio, tap the first button, go over there, get yourself some, okay? Or get it for somebody else and invest in yourself and invest in someone else at the same time. I just want to get that out there because I'm very tired of seeing several of us saying, oh, Black people got to do better. We got to quit tearing up our stuff, when in fact, it is not us. There are outside agents of chaos, okay, that are coming to hijack our mission, hijack the goals we're trying to accomplish, and hijack the attention. Okay, I'm sorry, Byron.
You did great. That was great. Thank you. I mean, that's much needed in this time. So thank you for that. And for those who need to really find love, self-love especially, I work with everybody from gay, straight, male, female, in between, everything. And I also help with men who are looking for a young lady to really settle down with. Hey. I also help young ladies who are looking for their potential mate. The truth is most people are looking for something and they haven't found it. And the reason they haven't found it is because they haven't first found it within. And so my first goal is to help you see the love within yourself. And as you do that, you can more easily find the love in somebody else. So look me up, Byron Jamal, byronjamal.com. And I have a new course out. It's Love at First Swipe. You'll be able to really find better love faster. And that will enable you right now to go in and take a 15-part course that will also give you 2 free phone line courses with me, where we'll talk for 60 minutes and help you to find the love and find the program that will best help you. The approach matters, I promise you. It's your mentality, your approach, and your delivery. So please, please, please find those 3 steps and use them wisely on your new course at byronjamal.com. Look, I love y'all. Thank you so much, Ashley, for being on. Thank you for being such a light in the community, helping so many to really start their businesses and take them to the next level. You really are a boss, a queen, a king, whatever you want to call it. You are doing your thing, and we need more of you. So just thank you for taking the call too. It was a little last minute, but thank you for filling in and really just this was like divine. So
No,
yeah,
thank you for having me. It's wonderful. It's always a joy and a pleasure to be in your presence. You have such amazing energy. You're always uplifting, and you are definitely a person who creates positive energy. And I enjoy being in the flow.
we gonna do this thing. Look, I'm telling you, this season is creating community,
Yeah.
and we gonna take full advantage of all of that. So thank you for staying connected. We're gonna keep doing it. All right, just know I ain't going nowhere.
Well, I'll be here. And to everybody in the kingdom, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are on the planet Earth. Thank you so much for coming to hang out with us. If it's morning time or daytime where you are, have a productive and a prosperous day. And if it's evening time, get yourself some good night's rest. Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all. Take care and be blessed. Thank you, dear.